Thank you for tuning in to Discover Your Best Self podcast. Today we have Andy Sukhu from Y2K Credit Solutions. He's going to tell us everything you need to know to start building your generational wealth. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Discover Your Best Self podcast. Today we are talking financial literacy, something that everyone wants to know. Is continuous education. And we have Mr. Andy here to share with us what it is that he does, why it's so important for us to learn about credit, and also, you know, what his background is in. He's here from New York. We're here in Houston. And I was able to steal some time from him for him to get on this podcast. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Andy, for coming here. And tell us real quick who you are and why you decided to do this podcast.
Well, first and foremost, Shanice, thanks for having me on the podcast. Each time was special. The love was real out here. It's totally different. But my name is Andy Sukhu. I'm the founder and CEO of Y2K Credit Solutions, a debt settlement credit restoration company that help consumers regain their financial powers. We're a 13-year-old company that's helping clients regain their financial power, fix their credit, get them into home, teaching them financial literacy. As we all know, financial literacy is a very limited topic here in the U.S. It's not even taught in school. So we're trying to change that culture and teach everyone how to manage finance, how to use their credit, how to leverage their credit to create generational wealth. My company specializes in credit restoration. We're going to get into that sooner. We're going to into the podcast. We'll talk more about it. But, you know, I want to talk about how credit really works and the doors that credit open up for you. You know, credit is a beautiful thing if you use it the right way and you manage it. It can do a lot of things for you. And they can get you rich really, really quick.
Really?
Well, generational wealth, right? It's secure for the future. So, that's the stuff I want to talk about, and that's what we do and the message that we're trying to put out there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So tell us, you know, how did you even get into this? Why are you so passionate?
So, all right. So it's interesting. I was saying the story earlier.
Yeah.
I was never supposed to. This was never my field, right?
Okay.
My field is psychology, project manager, and IT. I told you I graduated from college. Don't know how I did it, but I did it 3 times. And I landed a job at one of the credit repository agency companies. Can't put their names out there like that because of compliances.
Okay.
But anyway, the point is I landed a job there. And, I started writing software for a collection agency that purchased debt, and they sue you. And this is the one thing everyone needs to know. Debt's not leaving you. Everyone is inundated with all this information on social media that after 7 years, the debt disappears, or they can write a letter and dispute it, and it comes off your credit, and you don't have to pay it. It doesn't work like that. There's a couple of things that people need to know about that. So moving forward, wrote the software for the company, tested it in beta site, tested all the functionality and how it works, and I started using it on my friends. And after I found out it was working correctly and it helped a lot of people, I left the company. I took the software and I started Y2K Credit Solutions in 2006. Now, if you go on the website, Y2KCreditSolutions.com, if you read the bio, it tells you about. I started this in my parents' basement, just doing all my friends' stuff, side work, and I took it all the way to dealing with some of your famous celebrities and some high net worth people have helped them regain their financial powers.
Are you allowed to tell us?
I can't.
You can't tell?
If you go on our Instagram page, you'll see a few things. You'll see some hints. So you'll see who I've worked with in the past and what we've done for them. And everything that we have on our website, our Instagram, it's the real deal.
Okay.
So we're very transparent. My company is very transparent about how we help clients fix their credit, what they need to know about credit, and how to regain their financial power. We're very transparent about that.
So what are some of the same issues that, celebrities may have as regular people? We think, we're regular. They must have it all together.
Well, here's the thing. In the entertainment world, these guys come up from just doing basic things, right? Just cash, the cash world. They're coming from the cash world. So, they get all this cash for signing a record or putting a record out, but they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to manage it, right? Yeah. They don't have credit, and if they have credit, it's messed up because of what they've done in the past. Cell phone bills, gas bills, cars, we all make those mistakes. They're just normal people like you and I. There's no difference, except their comma is a little different in their bank account. That's really what it is. But past all that, they're just normal people like you and I, right? And they too need guidance on how to manage their money,
education,
how to diversify their portfolio, how to use it with the credit, and how to use credit to build their generational wealth, right? So, just like you and I and these entertainers, we all make common mistakes, and life happens. We all go through life, and we all have financial hardships.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you gotta do your research and know how to get out of it, right? Because if you just forget about it and leave it alone, it just haunts you and it damages you more.
So one of the things that I saw on your Instagram was, patience. Right. I talk a lot on this show about
patience and persistence.
Yeah. I talk a lot on this show about, people wanting instant gratification.
Yeah.
Discovering the best part of who you are, whether that's in your professional or personal life. People may not understand that you have to go through different stages, right, to get to where you want to be. So building your credit and having good credit just as much as long as it took for you to mess it up, right, you may have to take some time to get it repaired.
That's correct. So listen, we didn't get into this overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight. But a legitimate company can get you resolved and get you where you need to be within 90 days. And
so when you say a legitimate company, there's so many of these companies that tell you they can fix your credit.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Yes, please.
So listen, guys, let me tell you something. Dispute letters don't work. Everyone is on this trip of on Instagram, I'm helping you fix your credit. You have to challenge everything on the credit bureaus. You got to understand how that really works. And the letter system doesn't work. And that's one thing we don't use or practice in my firm. We're actually a debt settlement company because credit repair don't exist.
Okay. So what's the difference between credit repair and debt settlement?
So, all right, let's go into it this way. So every client have a responsibility to their debt, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say you had a Bank of America credit card.
Okay.
You had it for 5 years total. Out of that 5 years, 2.5 years, you paid it on time. Every month. But you can never tell me you went into Bank of America and paid it cash. You paid it to a checking account. And I'm saying certain things now to finish up what I'm going to tell you at the end. You can't tell me that you paid it cash every month while you had that card. You paid it to your checking account, ACH, some sort of paper trail, right? So now, 2.5 years later, life happens. You run into a hardship, you lost your job. Whatever happens, life happens. It all happens to us, right? It happens to all of us, right? And then you try to keep up with the payments. You're missing payments here and there. Slowly, you started failing. You're falling off, and you can't make the payments no more, and the debt gets charged off.
Okay.
Now, you have a charge off on your credit report, and now there's a collection agency servicing that debt on behalf of the creditor.
Okay.
I'll say it again. There's a collection agency servicing a debt on behalf of the original creditors. There's only four companies in the industry that buy debts. One is LVMV Funding, Portfolio Recovery, Midland Funding, and MDM Funding. Those are the four companies that buy debt. Oh, one more, LVMV Funding. I said that already.
Okay.
Those are the four companies that buy debt. Now, there's a difference between servicing a debt and owning a debt, right? I forgot. Nobody's seen this.
No, you're good. We're recording.
So, there's a difference between that. So, you're back to your Bank of America debt. It got charged off. Your credit starts to drop. Now, here you are. I need to fix my credit. I'm going to go to this company. They're going to write a dispute letter, and it's going to come off my credit report.
Okay.
But the problem is when they write that dispute letter, it goes to the credit bureaus. Now, the credit bureau sends that request to the original creditor to validate it because FCRA law states that you have to validate the debt. You have 30 to 45 days. But the thing is, that was your debt. You used it. It was charged off. There's a paper trail. What are you validating? Right?
Okay.
So now, the law states whether you pay or don't pay your debt, it stays on your credit report for 7 years. That's the law. It's in every single FCRA document that's printed for credit reporting. So you'll see it. Research it. It's public. So now, in order to get your things off your credit, you can't write a dispute letter because the credit bureau is going to send the letter back to you. To send the report back to you verified.
Okay.
It was your debt, right? And what these companies are doing, they're trying to bombard the credit bureaus with letters all day, the same letters, hoping that one, they're going to catch the credit bureau on a technicality, but the credit bureau is not the one putting the data there. They're housing the data for the creditor.
Right.
Right? The creditor sends it there, and then they send you a report, and here, this is what we have for you. It's not the credit bureau that's putting it there. It's the original creditor that's putting the data there. So now the credit bureau sends the data to the creditor, and they verify it. Oh, this is his debt. This is what it is. This is what the payments were, and so forth. Now the credit bureau is going to send you a report stating it was verified. So nothing happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get your credit fixed the right way, there has to be a resolution to your debt. And this is where we come in. This is what makes our platform different. One, our work is guaranteed. We guarantee every single work. And no other company can say they guarantee it. But then again, we're not a credit repair company. We're a debt settlement company.
Okay.
That's why I can guarantee the work.
Okay.
My firm can guarantee the work. So basically, let's say you have that $5,000 debt. We'll bring that $5,000 down to $1,500. We'll negotiate it down to, because it's already charged off.
Mm-hmm.
That's your responsibility to the debt. Once you pay that, we have the final reporting rights to take it off your credit report.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning of the conversation, I told you that things stay on your credit for 7 years, whether you pay it or don't pay it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the law.
Okay.
We make yours 7 years, 90 days.
Wow.
And we add 123 plus points back to your credit report.
That's a
Nothing
good guarantee.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And nothing ever comes back on your credit. You don't have to worry about 90 days later something to be reporting.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is everyone wants things the easy way, shortcut, the fast way, instant gratification.
Right.
And that's why I come back to your point. You didn't get into this overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight, but you have some responsibility to your debt, and you need to realize that, and you need to accept that.
Right.
And when you realize that and accept it, then we can get your credit fixed, and you can be on the path to generational wealth and regaining your financial power. There's no shortcut in that.
There's no shortcut. So for people that are like, man, I just had this hardship. Geez, I'm trying to get things right. I just got this new job. How expensive is it to do something like this?
I like to be very transparent. We are a little expensive. We are pricey, but because we guarantee the work and it gets done in X amount of time, you pay for what you get, right?
Yeah.
But we work with all our clients, right? You don't. We have payment plans in place. We make it affordable for you, but you got to think about it. Check this out. I'll give you a simple breakdown.
Sure.
If you had $10,000 worth of debt, right? Total combined, credit score is 550, and okay, you come to us. We bring your $10,000 down to $4,000. You owe $10,000, 550 credit score. We're bringing it down to $4,000, and in 90 days you have a 673 credit score, and you only paid $4,000. All that costs you $1,600. But now again, you owe $10,000 of debt. You owe $10,000.
But you have to think about what's important to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Priority. You have to prioritize.
Where the priorities are.
Correct.
Yeah.
But when you think about that scenario, and that's a real-time scenario.
Yeah.
I have clients with those scenarios. That's why I'm giving you those numbers purposely. You're going to tell me that's not worth it? 90 days, you're debt-free. A new credit score.
Yeah.
Start a fresh slate.
And then what does that new credit score do for you? Or what do you suggest, right? Because now people are like, oh, great. Now I have this great new credit score. Let me go and get some cards. What are the next steps?
Well, that's the financial literacy. Now you have to, once you get to the 670 or once you get you back to a positive credit score, we have to build it stronger.
Okay.
And that's where the financial literacy comes in to play, where we coach you on how to build your credit, how to use it, what credit cards to apply for. Simple things like you're only allowed to apply for 2 credit cards in a 12-month calendar year, one every 6 months. It takes 6 months to build credit. So you get one card, you build the credit with, leave it 0 balance in 6 months, don't close it, apply for another credit card.
Okay.
Banks only give you what they see other banks are giving you. Everyone needs to know that.
Okay.
And in this world, there's 2 things. There's a prime bank and subprime bank. Subprime banks are banks that know that people that have bad credit, have no credit, and their business is to give you money at a high interest rate. So they'll give you a credit card for $500, but the interest rate is 21%. You don't want to be in that level of credit cards. You want to be in the prime world, which is like Chase, Citi, TD, those kind of cards where the interest rate is 3-4%. The credit limit is like $4,000 or $5,000, a decent limit, right? Because $500 limit, by the time you swipe one time, you're maxed out. You're over the 30% utilization. Your score drops. Everyone needs to remember: low debt, high score; high debt, low score. Remember that simple scenario, or that, I don't know what you want to call that, but low debt, high score; high debt, low score. 30% utilization. Everyone should keep on their credit card. Once you go over that, your score starts to drop, and it takes 2 billing cycles, 2 months, those months, for it to come back up.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, the financial literacy is very important. People need to be taught it and how to manage credit.
Yeah.
And then once you finish fixing your credit, you really should start looking into purchasing a property, whether it's your first home, refi, refi cash out, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But that's where your vision should be, to start building generational wealth. I mean, real estate, I'm in Houston. I walked around here for a couple of days, and I've seen some amazing deals.
Yeah.
Closer to the city, too. I mean, I'm thinking about buying a property and hold on to it because the city's going to blow up.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend is James Harden weekend. It's like,
Yeah.
Insane. So many people here, you know? So I can only imagine what's going to happen in the next 5 years when prices are really low, interest rates are low. So stop worrying about buying a car.
Yeah.
And, trying to stunt.
Yeah.
And start building generational wealth once you fix your credit, you know?
So when you say building generational wealth, how does that correlate to that? Now I have, I'm getting good credit. I'm doing the things that you're telling me to do, and I have this property. I want to open a business. How do all those things line up?
We got to do a topic on business credit. It's a totally different topic.
Yeah.
It's completely different, and especially what people think they know about business credit is not the way it works.
Sure.
Business credit is quick clip I'll give you.
Yeah.
A quick tip I should say. Business credit is built off your tax ID, not your personal social. So when you have to PG something, personal guarantee something, you're not building business credit. It's on your personal credit. Business credit is very powerful if you build it the right way and you have access to it. It can do a lot of things under your business, right?
But what's one of the things that you said about building business credit?
There's a lot of things I said about it.
Time.
Oh, it takes
Patience.
time, persistence, but it takes 6 months to build your business credit.
Right.
Takes
So
6
though
months.
everybody who thinks that this is going to happen overnight,
No.
like we've been talking, everything takes time if you want it to happen the right way.
So the way it works, business credit, there's 3 bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet. The first step, and I'll give you the quick first step, the 10 steps. You can't, once you register your business name, it has to be registered in a courthouse as well. You have to be registered in 2 newspaper articles so your community can verify you as a legitimate business. 2, you can't use your home address as your business address because it cannot be verified by the credit bureaus. 3, you can't use your cell phone number as your business number.
Okay.
You can't do that. It have to have a separate number. So I tell everyone, Regis, you know what they are? Those rent to share space kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are the best things. $199 a month.
Yeah.
You get a fax number, a reception, an address, and a phone number
Oh, yeah.
for your business. You register that. Now, once all that's done, all that data has to go to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet.
Okay.
And that has to be read across the board. All 3 bureaus have to be reading the same data. From there, then we got to add trade lines to your credit so you can build your business credit score up. If you want to get loans from the banks on your business, you have to have 1 year profit and loss and a tax return.
Okay.
You can't just run the business at a loss too, because if you go to a bank and ask for money, the business running at a loss, how are you going to pay the loan, right? You can't treat the business as a side hustle. You got to keep it as a business, you really have to. And you can't run at a loss every month and have no profit at all. The bank's not going to want to do any business with you. That's just a quick scenario of how the business credit works. From there, once we build it up, business score goes from 0 to 100. You want to be at an 80. And from there, we teach you how to, utilize your business credit.
Okay.
But business credit is completely separate from personal credit.
Yeah.
But as far as the generational wealth goes, and using credit to purchase real estate is the wave now.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. So that takes me back to what we were talking about, building this wealth, right, with your credit. So now that someone has their property, what's the next move?
So now that you have your property, you're gonna either rent it out. It depends what you want to do. Is this your first property? And another thing also, people, when you're renting an apartment, it's totally different from when you're purchasing a home.
Right.
Understand that. And you need credit when you purchase a home. Because, for example, I was telling you earlier, you're in your apartment. If your AC breaks, your landlord comes and fixes it. If your AC breaks in your house, I'm telling you need AC in Houston. It's hot here.
Yes, it's really hot.
It's smoggy. But listen, if your AC breaks in your home, you have to fix that.
Yeah.
So if you don't have credit or some reserves, how are you going to fix it? You're sitting in your house all day with a paper fan.
Yeah.
Right? And these are things people need to consider when purchasing your first home, right? But you purchase your first home, you wait a year, depending if you do a FHA or a conventional, whatever you do. You live in it for 1 year. You refi it, pull the money out, buy another property, and you rent this house out. You keep playing with the bank's money as long as you're being responsible with it and pay it. And that's how you start building generational wealth, because properties are going up. There's equity, right? Rates are low, 3%, 3.5% now to buy a mortgage. That's super cheap.
Yeah.
So that's how you start building generational wealth.
Okay.
Then if you want to buy the cars and all that good stuff, you use the house. You buy the asset, then you buy the liabilities, right? That's how it works.
I like that.
Asset over liabilities. Listen to Earn Your Leisure podcast, episode 18. Asset over liabilities. You use the asset to buy the liabilities. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone should be doing. And that's the way to do it. And here's the thing, though. I know we're gonna talk about this at the end of the podcast, and your podcast is called
Discover your best self.
Discover your best self, right? Listen, everybody is in their own lane.
Yeah.
You need to know where you belong, right? Mm-hmm. You know how high you can hang your hat.
Yeah.
You know how far your money can reach.
Mm-hmm.
We're all gonna get there where we need to go.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and worry about what you can do. Because
Mm-hmm.
while you're worrying about them and following them, they're making moves 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
And you're still sitting there like, wait, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I wanted to say that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. You got to crawl before you walk.
Yeah. But you got to start doing it too, because time is flying.
Mm-hmm.
Time is moving. The year's already over.
Yeah.
I ask people, can you tell me what you've done in 2019? We're in August.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done for the year yet?
Yeah.
Besides have bad credit and not do anything,
Right. You have to be working
Yeah,
towards that goal.
You got to make that first step.
Mm-hmm.
And there's companies out there that can help you. My company being one of them. But you got to pick up that phone, make the first call, and don't be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone have issues.
Right.
We all have issues, right?
Right.
We all had a hardship. Nobody's perfect.
Right. So what about teaching your kids? I have a lot of women that listen to the podcast that are part of my events, and a lot of the things that we talk about are us feeling financially empowered, and wanting to know that we're able to do things if we need to, so obviously, a lot of times we're the ones taking care of our kids, household. What are the things that we need to be aware of, whether you're with a partner or if you are by yourself or taking care of your kids, what are the things that you should be implementing with your family?
I mean, definitely teach money management.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to do that. It's funny you talk about the kids part of it, because the new topic now is building my kids' credit at 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great that you want to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but do it the right way. I have a video on our Instagram about with Chase. We have a partnership with Chase
Okay.
to help you build your kids' credit at 18. And there's a twofold part of it, because,
Okay.
There's requirements. You have to have a checking account.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have charge-offs with
Okay.
Chase.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in college.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll give you a credit card, not a secure credit card. They'll give you a real credit card. It's Student Freedom credit card
Okay.
with a limit on it. But the thing about what I like about that is that it comes with a checking account also. So you
Mhm.
teach your kids how to budget money,
Mm-hmm.
allowance. You teach them how to save money. You start teaching them that at 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, social media inundates a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone sees things on social media, and that may not necessarily be true. Half of it is fake.
Yeah.
But if with Chase, we're giving products out like the student credit card and a free checking account. Checking accounts are free. Start with that to teach them how to manage money, how to value a dollar, right? The importance of credit. I mean, start educating them on what you do
Mm-hmm.
and your loss
Mhm.
and where you are now.
Mhm.
So it all starts from home, though.
Right,
Everything
right,
really
right.
starts from home.
Because I remember, like, growing up, like, for me in my house, like, your parents didn't go, like, look, these are the bills, this is what's
Right.
going on, this is what I pay. It's kind of like, oh, this is grown folks' business.
Yes, correct. correct.
And I don't believe that. Like you say, you have to kind of explain. Not that you have to show everything.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, 2019 is totally different than 2016, and we're so advanced every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kids know about bills.
Oh, yeah.
They know. Everyone wants Jordans.
Yeah.
Everyone wants the latest fashion,
Mhm.
the Gucci, Louis,
Mhm.
chains, whatever. We got to pay for that,
Yeah.
and you got to figure out how you're gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to teach your kids what's priority.
Mhm.
There's a lot of kids out there doing a lot of things they shouldn't be doing to get a lot of things that they have,
Mm-hmm.
and don't get caught up with that, because that's not the right way. And that road ends very soon, and it ends really bad, right?
Mhm.
But I think you should teach your kids a lot priority, like how to prioritize your stuff. And I believe that kids at 16 years old
Mhm.
know what they want to do at 18 years old.
Right.
Like, they're so advanced now, they know exactly what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And teach them the basic checking balances, right? They get a
Mhm.
credit card, you got to pay it on time every month.
Mhm.
Don't spend more than you can pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
If
And being that example too.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So if you're you have to show them that so that they know what to follow.
Correct.
Yeah.
The leader. We live by leaders, right?
Mhm.
Not followers, right?
Right.
And again, everything is taught in home. So if your kids see you doing it at home,
Mm-hmm.
and and you're living a good lifestyle, and but
Mhm.
you're still budgeting and staying in your lane, they'll emulate that.
Right. Okay.
So
So what do you think about the company you keep? So, if a lot of, like some of us like to be around flashy or whatever, that's fine, but I believe that, you want to be around those that you either want to emulate,
Right.
And if you're seeing people spending money all the time, you're like you said, staying in your lane.
Right.
How much of an impact will that have?
That's a good question you asked. Yeah, I don't keep a lot of friends, because I learned what I learned in the financial literacy. I built myself up, so I'm independent all around. Right. So the people I keep around me are people that's doing the same thing that I'm doing or better, so I can learn from them. It's easy to get sidetracked. Especially with the flashes and the cars these days, and and dealing with the music industry and clients in the entertainment world. I mean, they're on some next level stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's easy to get sidetracked and keep up with that.
Right.
But you are who your friends are, right? You become that, and you really need to know when a relationship is toxic for you and when it's not. When you need to pull out and go your own way.
Right.
I like to keep everyone's arm length reach. Trust but verify.
What was that?
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Trust but verify. A lot of people fugazi. They live in that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
They live in that funk the fake until I make it kind of lifestyle. But you need to be able to see through that, and don't get inundated with that stuff.
It's so funny because it doesn't matter what topic I talk about. It's that always is a part of it.
Yeah.
And so, Andy, I wanted to ask you, I know I told you this earlier, but what does it mean to discover your best self?
Listen, we all have our path. We do. And I told you earlier, like before you asked me that, I told you about steering you in, where your hat's going to reach, right?
Right.
But we all know what we're here to do and why we're here, and we all know where we're going. Doesn't matter if I give you advice, I give you advice, you take advice from anyone else, you're still going to do what you have to do.
Right.
And you know what you want in life. So you really need to dig into that, look into yourself, and see what is it that makes you happy, right? Once you find that, everything else is smooth sailing from there.
Right.
What is it that you stand for in life? What is it that you believe in? You find that, and then you find yourself. Like, this is what I want. You'd be surprised. Half the people that find themselves, the path we're going down was just, they were lost.
Right.
Right. And now where they are, it's much more peaceful, and it's at their pace. They run your race, right? So once you find yourself, everything else falls into place from there. I believe.
I think that's good because that's one of the things that definitely, we talk about is, number one, being selfish sometimes.
Sometimes you have to be selfish.
Yeah, you have to.
That energy, everyone's talking about energy these days, and energy is a big thing.
It's real.
And people only know you, and trust me, take this from being in the situation. People only know you when they want something. That's it. Everyone's your buddy then. You know what I'm saying? Once. And if you can't deliver for them,
then you're not.
Yeah. It's a sideways relationship now. But it's relationships are the heaviest components in your lives.
Yeah.
You got to choose which one is worth keeping. Really, you have to.
Yeah.
I learned that in business 101. I couldn't. The Y2K wouldn't have gotten where it was if I was just still in the mentality of where some of my friends are. And if I didn't strongly believe about financial literacy and the doors that it opened up. If I left that to all my friends and said, oh, I don't know about this, what do you advise?
Right.
The Y2K wouldn't be where we are number one right now.
Yeah.
So
some of the most important things that I'm hearing you say is, you gave us some details, but also, your relationships, the company you keep.
Yeah.
Also,
that can make you or break you.
Yeah, and investing in yourself.
Yes, that's number one.
Yeah,
that's number one.
Investing in yourself, because if not, all this will go downhill.
Exactly, absolutely. You're the foundation. Unless you have some rich family, some rich friends, or someone to back you up, you're your own security.
Right.
Right.
And real quick before we go, I'm glad you just said that, because a lot of people think like, oh well, he's good, he knows all this stuff because he probably came from money or whatever. Did you?
No, okay. Absolutely not. I started in my parents' basement. Let me tell you something. When I started Y2K, I'm giving you 100% honesty, transparency. It was to get rich and famous. That's really why I started it, right? Because I wanted this fast lifestyle, the fancy cars, being around certain people. I wanted this lifestyle, and I got all that, and it's boring. I'm back to normal. Like, it doesn't faze me anymore, But I saw an opportunity, and it was to help people. And where am I now with my company and where my company is going? It's not about the money.
Right.
It's about the relationship I build with my clients. Right.
Providing a good service.
Yes.
People come back.
A relationship.
Or refer.
Again, of course. You know, guiding people and teaching people and being there, provide that service for them. You know. But it was about money in the beginning because I was young.
Right.
I was 26. You know, you in that era when you're 26, I'm 26. Like, you know, that was the hype. You know. Now it's like it's not about that anymore.
Right.
You know, it's just about doing the right thing in life and teaching people the right thing. And you know, I get more respect on the street. People just saying, Andy, thank you for showing me to get my first house. That I can own my first home. That I can have a credit card. I can have a checking
the trajectory of people's lives and families.
Yeah. People are now talking about, I want to buy a 3-family house. Let's do it.
Right.
What are you waiting on? You already know what you did how to get it because you got your first home already. So let's get to the next level, you know? And that's more gratifying actually to me.
Yeah.
To, you know, walk down the street and they're like, yo, thanks a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Or keep doing your thing. Keep dropping those information and those gems because I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't charge for that.
Right.
You know? I just sit up late night and I write stuff, give it to my social media team. They post it.
Right.
And it's all for you guys, you know? So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of gratification, thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate you agreeing to come, sharing this information.
Listen, this information is nationwide. It's like everyone needs to hear it.
Yeah.
And this is the message I'm on the road with Earn Your Leisure Tour.
Yeah.
To teach people this out there, you know, of financial literacy is a wave. And if you don't get it now, you're never going to get it.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
But you know, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is good.
Fun.
And I hope this won't be the last time. We're going to have to talk about some business credit and dive into that. And
so we want to do a class. We want to do a first-time home buyer credit seminar class here. We're putting the logistics together. So stay tuned. Before the end of the year is happening.
Before the end of the year.
Yes, we're bringing it to Houston. H-Town, we're coming back.
Here in Houston, yes, we're going to do it again. But, hey, listen, thank you again, like I said.
Oh, you're welcome.
You guys, thank you for listening to the podcast. Go ahead and share with your friends and family if you think that this was valuable information. And Andy, tell them what your handles are again.
Guys, so it's on Instagram. It's at Y2K _ Credit Solutions. Our website is www.y2kcreditsolutions.com. Reach out to us. We service for all 50 states. We're nationwide. And if you're ready to regain your financial power and become that 700 credit score, be debt free the right way, and start doing things the right way and building generational wealth, reach out to us. We're here to help you.
Absolutely.
You know, we're here to give you that education and teach you and guide you.
That sounds great.
And listen, one thing I want to tell people, I'm a minority. You probably, I don't think you'll see the video. I'm not like, you know, not in the battle. I'm not like a white person with a tie. You know, I'm a brown person, so I know the struggle. I've been there. Yeah. I've done that. I came from nothing. Right. Literally, I did. You know, when Drake made that song start from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah.
I could relate to that.
Right.
In my own way, though. Right. Yeah. But I could relate to those words because I came from nothing. You know, Caribbean parents came to the country working 3-4 jobs.
Yeah.
Struggling.
It's real.
But I didn't grow up with Jordans.
Right.
I grew up with Jordache.
Right.
You know, remember those days? You know, favorite shoe stores of them. You know, from Queens, New York. I grew up with that stuff. So it was never about the money. You know, but money and credit just and financial literacy and having a safe financial background, it just opens a lot of doors and it changes a lot of things for you and it make you do a lot of things that you know in a positive way that you never thought you could do. You know, and it's the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil, but if you manage it correctly, you can set yourself up for a good future, a good retirement.
One of my favorite quotes by Les Brown. He says, it can be lonely at the top, but you eat much better.
No, absolutely. Listen, that's a fact.
Yes, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, thank you. This was great. I appreciate it. Again, don't forget to follow us at Discover Your Best Self on Instagram, and you can also subscribe to the podcast. What an amazing episode with Y2K Credit Solutions. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe to Discover Your Best Self. You can find us on Instagram at Discover Your Best Self. Go beyond social media advertising with Adnocrats. Let the Adnocrats connect your brand with your audience. Adnocrats provides advertising, advisory, plus media buying with an array of options priced to serve brands of all sizes. The Adnocrats' unique and diverse selection of media platforms and offerings include TV, radio, digital outdoor, and online. Visit www.adnocrats.co to learn more.